Good morning. You're in the loop. Every week we talk with the people who make San Antonio a better place to live. Thanks for joining us in the loop. Here's your host, Milton Glick.
Hey, and welcome to In the Loop. I'm Milton Glick, and that's exactly what we do. We get you caught up with the people and the organizations that are making San Antonio a better place to live. And that cough came from Brad Mayhar, who is the Public Relations. Now, Brad, I always mess up your title. Brad is the Public Relations Manager with the Salvation Army here in San Antonio. We're gonna talk a little bit about all the things that's going on right now with the Salvation Army, and all the reasons behind the importance of giving when you see that kettle at Walmart or other places. Or so, Brad, where shall we start, man?
We're like in the eye of the storm, or I guess the middle of the storm, because the eye is actually the calm part of the storm. But we're in the middle of it, so we can jump right in. We're talking about red kettles and angel tree and the event we have coming up, beyond the Christmas season as well. So,
oh, good. Well, let's do this first then, if it's okay. Let's do the why first. Talk about when I see that red kettle, like I said, at Walmart, or I see an advertisement on the road asking me to give. What am I giving to? Tell me what the Salvation Army's mission is and how you accomplish it here in San Antonio.
The mission of the Salvation Army is to meet human need and serve in Jesus' name without discrimination, and that's what we do throughout the year. We serve our community. We help those who are down on their luck. We help those who can't help themselves. We've got an emergency family shelter that houses over 130 people each night. We're talking 51 beds for single women. And then upstairs we've got family rooms, which includes everything from single fathers, single mothers, to intact families. We've got a men's shelter east of downtown on Nolan Street that houses 50 to 100 gentlemen a night. And then we've got social services programs for veterans. We've got grocery assistance, utility assistance, rental assistance. We got a food pantry. We've got a senior nutrition center, and over near Woodlawn Lake, we even have a youth center that offers the Peacock Youth Center offers after-school programs and scholarship opportunities and summer camps for kids in our community.
Yeah, it truly is I know it becomes trite, but so we won't say it the trite way, but we'll say from babies all the way to seniors are being helped by the Salvation Army if they're in need.
That's right. We serve anyone, regardless of their where they come from. If they need help, we're there for them. And these programs that we do, like the Red Kettle campaign, the money we collect from that funds those programs year-round. We've got the Angel Tree program that provides gifts for 6,000 kids who otherwise wouldn't have Christmas, and as well as a few hundred senior citizens
that's right, the Silver Angels.
Don't have gifts. Yes, the Silver Angels, exactly right. So the kids and the kids at heart.
Yeah, and the cool thing too, and I always hesitate to do this because I didn't prepare you, but it sounds like from what I can gather, you and I talked about this last year at the same time, but you've actually served more people in 2024 than did in 2023. So the need and the people being served, the donations are actually serving more people than before. Is that accurate?
That's accurate. Each year it just seems like we see more and more people coming through our doors, more people contacting us on the phone or through social media that need some kind of assistance. And that's there's always a need, and it seems like each year we make new partnerships, and we find more people who want to volunteer or want to donate, want to get involved, but the needs are increasing, so we always have an increased need for it at the same time.
Yeah. Well, let's do this if we can, and that's great. It's wonderful to hear reports about, we served, there were 40% more people this year than last year, and that's pretty significant for services in general. But, okay, so let's talk about, I've just gotten out of my car, and I'm heading to the door at Walmart, and sure enough, I hear a ring, 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 and I see the red kettle. So tell me a little bit about that, and what's that all about, Brad? And maybe how can I get involved in that?
Yeah, well, our Red Kettle campaign, it's the biggest fundraiser of the year. The monies we collect in these red kettles, they stay in Bexar County. So if you donate to families, you donate to a kettle in San Antonio, it's going to help San Antonio families. And we have more than 100 bell ringing sites available each day as far as needing a bell ringer. So that's a big need for us. This year it seems like we have more of a need than ever for bell ringers. Each year, the last few years, for whatever reason, we've seen patterns where we just have, less bell ringers. We have more and more of a bell ringer shortage.
Yeah.
And bell ringing is something that anybody can do. I mean, it's individuals or groups. You can volunteer as an individual. You can volunteer with a friend. You can get a church group together, a school group together. Maybe your company wants to pick a site and have your employees take turns, take different shifts, and you cover that site for a whole day. Or maybe you divide and conquer and you do multiple sites and you have representatives from your company or your organization ringing the bell all over the city on a given day. However you decide to do it, or you might be a one-time bell ringer that, maybe you're extremely busy, but you decide, let me spend 2 to 4 hours ringing the bell this year, and that makes a difference. Imagine if we had 100 people every day that woke up and decided the same thing, that I want to do a bell ringing shift for a few hours. I mean, that would help us, staff all of our sites. But it is important. You can ring anywhere. You can go to registertoring.com. Mm-hmm. That's registertoring.com, and you can see what parts of town are available, what shifts are available. You can volunteer in your community, where you live, or maybe where your companies, where you work, where you're located. You can pick any part of town, and you can pick just about any time of day, morning, afternoon, evening, 6 days a week. The only day we don't ring is on Sundays.
Yeah, and talk a little bit, again, where do I go to do that? And then I'll tell people about my experience as a bell ringer.
Yeah, you can go to registertoring.com, and I encourage everybody to give it a chance if you've never done it before, because it can be, as I'm sure you're about to say, it's really rewarding. And if you're not in the Christmas spirit, I feel like it helps get you in the Christmas spirit, because you greet people, they with smiles, and people come up sometimes and they want to share their stories about how they've struggled, but they still feel compelled to give, or maybe that once upon a time they got help from the Salvation Army and they're paying it forward, whatever reason they have for doing it. It just feels good to know that you're doing something worthwhile.
Yeah, and okay, so I'll share my experience, because I did it as an individual and with a group, and from the individual standpoint as a bell ringer, it's a fun 2 hours. Honestly, it is. You're out there, and the coolest thing about it too is you're just having fun. You're ringing the bell, and you can be as dynamic or outgoing as you want to, but people are going to come up to you. Some are going to donate, some are not, but probably 50% of the people will thank you for what you're doing, which surprised me. Go ahead.
You get a lot of thank yous, especially times when I think the last couple of years I've been out there a lot with people for the Parade of Kettles portion of the Red Kettle campaign, and I'll be out there myself a lot. And people, when the last couple of years when we've had a bell ringer shortage, people will come up and they'll say, "Oh, thank you for being here," or "Wow, I haven't seen a bell ringer lately. It's good to see, that you're here. It's good to see a kettle."
Yeah.
And so we want people to ring the bell. And if you go out there and you have fun with it, or you act, silly, you sing along, you have a good time, and it usually results in better donations. If people see bell ringers who are singing Christmas carols, or who are smiling, or who are wearing some kind of Christmas costume, whether it be a Santa costume or an elf costume or even a Grinch costume, it makes people feel good to see that, and they appreciate that you're having a good time with it, and they want to bless you with a donation.
No, it's really cool, and it's funny too, because you will get donations of $1, you will get donations of $5, you will get a donation of $20, and you can watch the people that are giving them, and every one of them that gives, this means something to them to give. They just it's absolutely wonderful, and you are correct. So when my wife and I did it, we had the phone, we were playing Christmas carols off of it, and we were just singing along. And I've told the story year after year, but yes, some woman offered to donate $20 if I would stop singing, so I stopped singing.
So, whatever it takes, if they'll donate if they want you to stop, or they'll donate if they want you to keep going. But we'll take it any way we
absolutely.
can get it. and it's like those small amounts add up too. I mean, you don't have to. Sometimes people feel bad if they just pull out their pocket and they have a few coins, or they have just $1. They say, "Oh, I wish I could do more." I said, "No, thank you. We appreciate this."
Absolutely,
because this adds up. I mean, if there's if there's 1.5 million people in San Antonio, imagine if everybody just gave $1.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, it makes a big difference. And as a group, if you're thinking about bringing a business out there, or church, or a volunteer group that you're a part of to do this, it's perfect, because what's neat is that you'll all gather together after you're through, and you'll have some wonderful stories, and it's a cool shared experience that will kind of cement your relationship with the group, because everybody, "Oh, let me tell you what happened," and no, here's what happened with me. It was great. Right. So I encourage you to do that, because that's a big help. And again, especially if your church has a volunteer group, an organization, you can do it. And as I look at the website too, the registertoring.com, it's I choose I'm ringing as an individual, I'm ringing with a group, and then the virtual ringer. What is that?
The virtual ringer is a way that you can go on to, people have an opportunity. They can sponsor a kettle. They can, a virtual ringer, you can get a link and you can send it out to people in your network, and, they can donate just, from a text message or an email when they get that link. So you don't even have to stand outside and ring the bell for a couple of hours. You can spend, 30 minutes or an hour just blasting out a link to people in your email network and asking them to donate, and you can still raise some money that way. I mean, that's similar to what we do through the Parade of Kettles competition, where we every year we have anywhere from 12 to 15 kettles in the Parade of Kettles competition, and it's usually it's local TV personalities or local celebrities or elected officials or businesses or whomever, people of influence usually, and they decorate a kettle and they have a friendly competition to compete and see who can raise the most money for the Salvation Army. So and all the money stays local and goes to the same place, but they like those bragging rights. They make a competition out of it. They make appearances and they ring the bell for their physical kettle, but they also send a link out or post a link on social media and ask for donations. They get a QR code and do it that way too, and that makes a big difference. Just making it fun. We want to get everybody involved, because the people we serve come from all shapes and sizes, and so do our volunteers. And, you have something for everyone, and you make it fun.
Our guest today in the loop is Brad Mayhar, Public Relations Manager with the San Antonio Area Command of the Salvation Army. We're talking to him about giving a little more meaning behind those things that you're going to see, too. And real quick, Brad, then we'll jump over to Angel Tree. But there is a value to me There's more value. Sorry, let me try one more time. There is a value to me donating my time as a volunteer as well. Besides just I'm volunteering, that's money that the Salvation Army doesn't have to spend to have a bell ringer.
Absolutely. I mean, we do have some paid bell ringing positions that we hired for a few weeks back, and those are great because they do create job opportunities or extra sources of income for people who need it. But at the same time, if people who just want to volunteer their time can ring the bell, that's a position that we're not having to pay a portion of
right.
To the programs. And, we collect, we just collect that money from all parts of town, and, anyone can make a difference. So, we appreciate all of our volunteers.
All right. Now, there's a number of different places, and you'll see when you go to the website, you just click and it walks you through the different places. You put in your zip code, but there are places, here in San Antonio, Sam's Club, Hobby Lobby, Walmart's, Bass Pro Shop, and more.
Yeah.
So there's probably a location right by you if that's important to you. But now when I walk into that, so run over there and just check it out. Okay, I'm guessing if I can get you just to go look at it, you might volunteer. So if I go walk into that Walmart, for instance, I might see a big Christmas tree right by that front door, and on the Christmas tree might have paper hangers that have the Salvation Army symbol on them. What is that, Brad?
Well, that is the Angel Tree program, and that program's been around since 1979, and it's grown through the years. The last few years, this year included, each year we've been able to provide gifts for about 6,000 local kids in need from birth to 12 years old, and as well as a few hundred seniors. I'll say they're the kids at heart. And but that's a community-wide effort. We could not do the Angel Tree program without the help from our community, the people that adopt those angels and the volunteers that help us prepare things in the warehouse and distribute those toys and gifts on distribution day. So when you go into one of those locations, whether it be a Walmart or one of the local malls, you see those Angel Tree tags. It has the child's first name on there, has their age, has a wish list of clothes and clothing sizes, and we encourage people to take on at least one or maybe even multiple kids if they can. Maybe their company can sponsor an Angel Tree or get some tags and adopt angels, but we want people to go in and buy as much as they can for that child's wish list and help bring a smile to their face on Christmas morning. And we're coming up this coming week, this Monday through Friday is actually we're calling this phase Clear the Tree. And what Clear the Tree means is that we're consolidating a lot of these Angel Tree tags. We've got about 500 left to be adopted. So we're closing in. We got just a few hundred left to be adopted, but we need the community's help to help us clear those trees, get those tags off the tree. And so there's going to be 3 locations where you can find those. It's going to be the Walmart location on De Zavala Road.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Walmart at Bandera 1604 area, or actually like Leslie Road, more of the Helotes area. That one, as well as North Star Mall, they have an Angel Tree. So those 3 remaining Angel Trees are going to be the ones with all the remaining 500 tags on them.
Okay.
If you visit an Angel Tree location in one of the other places, one of the other malls or other participating Walmart or Sam's Club locations, they'll have a QR code on there where you can adopt an angel online.
Oh, cool.
But to be able to do the physical tags, you need to go to one of those 3 locations I mentioned a minute ago. That's that Leslie Road Walmart in Helotes, the Walmart Bezavala Road, and then the North Star Mall Angel Tree. Those are the remaining 3, and we just encourage people to adopt those. And if you've already adopted an angel and you still have gifts that you need to return, you can return the gifts at preferably one of the 3 locations I mentioned, or you can bring it to one of the other Walmart or Sam's Club locations where you adopted the angel from. We need to get all those in by this coming weekend here. So the weekend of the 13th and 14th is we need all of them to be turned in. So we need them all to be adopted out and the gifts to be returned, because the following week is distribution.
Okay. Hey, you mentioned putting a smile on a child's face, which is obvious that this would make a big difference. But talk a little bit, if you will, real quick. We still have a little bit of time, about the difference it makes to the parent that now has gifts that they can give to their child this Christmas.
Yeah, well, there's any given time, and a lot of our Angel Tree volunteers, it's one of those situations where they'll talk about how they got help years ago and now they want to pay it forward, because anybody can have a bad year. Some people might, just struggle, year after year, and then others might have a bad year where maybe there was a job loss or a health crisis in their home and, money's tight. So it could happen to anyone, or anyone might know someone who is going through a situation. And so to be able to provide these things for families who, thought it wasn't going to be possible this year, you see a lot of tears of joy.
Yeah.
People that sometimes these parents, they come to the Angel Tree distribution and they get their, some of them even get public transportation to get there, or they might get a ride, or maybe they're, even gas money, or it's tough for them, or maybe even their car, needs, repairs, but, they still just want to have that moment where, Christmas morning, where they can wake up and just momentarily everything's okay in the world. They're seeing their child smile, and they're getting to experience the joy of Christmas. And for those that thought that wasn't going to be possible, they show up, and as our volunteers are loading those items up in their car, they just, some of them just break down crying, or they thank us. They just have a big smile themselves. They thank us for what they do. So it just, to be able to see that end result of where your volunteer time goes, or maybe you purchase these toys for this child, or you're volunteering your time. And sometimes we volunteer for things and we don't always see the end result, but to be able to be there for the distribution and see the end result where the family, smiles, it's just a priceless feeling. I mean, I guess it's the next to the end, because the end result will be Christmas morning, but you get the first half of that end result. You see the family receive it.
No, and that's what's so cool, is that for a parent who has a child that they don't think they're going to be able to give a gift to this holiday, it's just heartbreaking for them. So this is a wonderful thing that you're doing, because you're giving them the ability to give a gift which brings them as much joy as the child. Hey, we got about maybe just about a minute left. Where should we go with this? Do you want to talk a little bit about 2025?
Yes, so our next big event coming up in 2025 is not so far away. It actually moved up in the calendar year than usual. Usually this is an event that we have around May each year. This year it's going to be in March, and that's our annual luncheon. Our Celebration of Hope is our theme this year. Our annual luncheon is going to be on March 27th, and our keynote speaker this year is going to be Becky Hammond. So we're really excited about that. She's a beloved former WNBA player who played a good portion of her WNBA playing days were here. She was an assistant coach with the Spurs. She made history as the first woman to have a full-time coaching job in the NBA. just when she became an assistant coach with the Spurs. And then she made history again as a head coach for a day when Coach Pop got ejected one night and put her in charge. So for one night, she became a head coach. So she made history again. And then now the last 3 years, she's been the head coach of the Las Vegas Aces WNBA team, which is, if you remember, the San Antonio Stars, which was the WNBA team that we had here for a few years. When they left San Antonio, they went to Las Vegas and became the Aces, the Las Vegas Aces. And so Becky actually coaches that team now.
Very cool.
And she won the WNBA title 2 of the first 3 seasons that she's been a head coach. And so she's really beloved here. She's very passionate and open about speaking about her faith, and she just has I think she's going to have a message of an inspiring message for everyone. And the chance to see her, because she doesn't get a chance to come back to San Antonio that often anymore. And, for those that are top-level sponsors, they'll even get guaranteed meet and greet opportunity with her, too. So
very cool.
The most important thing about that luncheon is where the Red Kettle campaign is the biggest fundraiser of the year. This annual luncheon is our second biggest fundraiser each year, and the money that we raise, it stays here local, and it helps. It benefits those programs that we've discussed.
Very cool. Well, we've got to go. The more information at salvationarmysanantonio.org. Brad Mayhar, our guest today, Public Relations Manager with the Salvation Army here in town. I'm Milton Glick. Got to say goodbye for today. You join us next week as we keep you in the loop.
Thanks for joining us in the loop. We look forward to bringing you next week's show with Milton Glick.